Hey beautiful people, it's Kanisha again, back at you guys. I hope that you guys are blessed and highly favored, and I really have a important and powerful message, especially for my young ladies and my females who are getting up in their age and still making mistakes that is causing them heartache and that is causing them hurt. And this is a lesson that I had to learn. I learned it at 24. And I feel like even though I learned it at quite a young age, some people still go on and still don't learn. I still feel like I messed up a lot of my years not knowing this. And so I just want to bring this to you guys. And I hope that, listen, if you're hearing this and any of our females come to your mind, send this video to them to just empower them, to teach them, and just share this video. If you're on my Facebook or on my YouTube, go and share it to your loved ones, share it to your friends. Let's get into this video. So I've been thinking about when I was younger, making those stupid mistakes of being in relationships, not understanding what relationships were, one, not understanding why I need to be in a relationship, what's the reason for a relationship, and also what's the main outcome, what's your outcome for this relationship. And when you're young and you are entertained by movies, by books, which I actually loved. I love reading the novels, the love novels, the sex novels. When you're entertained like this and your mind is corrupted with lies, because what we are shown on TV and what we are taught in the books and is that love is this romantic thing and it lasts for a lifetime. And I've come to learn that that's not so. Not with everybody, not when you're not ready, not when you don't know what you're doing, why you're doing it, what's the purpose of what you're doing. And so at a very young age, I started looking for love. Around the ages of 12, 13. I remember just really crying and just feeling unloved, feeling this void, and just wanting that void and that darkness to be filled. And around 13, I started searching for this love in males. So my male peers. So started having boyfriends. Me and my first boyfriend started talking about sex quite young. And I tried having sex at 13, failed, but end up succeeding at 14. And once that door is open, that sexual door is open, especially as a young person, it's like once that door is open, I don't know, for me, it took God to close that door at 24. So once I started at 14, it took God to close that door. So once that door of being sexual is open, that's it. It's like the Bible talking about holding fire and not being burnt, and stepping on hot coal and not get burnt. It's like whatever you've opened, expect the consequences of your actions, right? And so I opened this door of sex, ignorantly, on not knowing what sex really was about, why sex was created. And I found myself in a place being broken, being hurt, being destroyed spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially, and just kind of losing my life. Just losing my life. I had no focus. I had no purpose. I had no meaning. And so I look around now and I see women in their late 20s, in their late 30s, and I see the 13 and the 14-year-old me in them, because they're still single or they're in an unhappy relationship. They have this void that they're trying to fill by exterior mean, where they're trying to make people and things fill that void. And so they're still in that roller coaster where they don't understand, right? I didn't understand that the void that I was feeling stemmed from so much things, right? One, my father wasn't around, okay? I didn't know my dad. I met my biological dad at 27, 28. So I had that void. And listen, a father is so important, especially to a girl. I think they're important in general, but for a girl, a father is what would teach us what it means to love. And so if you have an abusive father who lives in the home, that's going to be your love language. But if you have a confident, secure, well-mannered man of a father who loves on you, who adores you, who spoils you, that's going to be your love language. And so you're going to grow up knowing your worth, grow up feeling loved and adored because you had a father that was involved in your life. And this could be a spiritual father, like somebody, when I say spiritual, I mean like somebody who married your mom, but is not your biological father. So that's why I call spiritual father. So God sent this man to be in your mom's life, to raise you. And I mean a good man. I'm talking about a good man who raised you and was involved and was loving you and was encouraging you. He was providing you, he was protecting, and he was encouraging you. He was pushing you to be the best you. When you have that as a young child, you know, you feel loved, you feel adored, you feel seen, you are taught, right? And especially if you're brought up in a spiritual home, as in you're not just going to church. It's not about going to church, but it's having an intimate and a personal relationship with your creator. I believe things will be completely different for you, especially when you have that guidance. What do you want to be when you're older? This is the path of getting there. What skills are you going to use to earn money and to become and to build? Okay, that path is going to get there. Okay, this is how you handle finances. What's the purpose of love? How do you find love? And here's the thing. I was searching for love outside, but I was not searching for love within. So I lacked a father figure. I lacked direction and spiritual guidance and spiritual connection to God. But most importantly, I was looking for something on the outer exterior that I should have been looking for inside. I should have been looking for love from within. How can I love on me? How can I develop me? How can I become the best form of myself, right? I was looking for boys who weren't even fully developed, you know, had no clue what they were doing or where they were going in life to give this to me. And obviously we were children, so they could not give me what I needed, right? And so I end up disappointed after one relationship, after another, just completely disappointed, because the purpose of going into that relationship was to be loved and was to become, right? And I couldn't, because obviously that person do not have what I need. And so I see that today. I see that today in young girls still who are not being directed, who are not being guided, who are not being taught. I see that today in middle-aged young ladies and older young ladies, older mature ladies, where they don't know that if there is a void, if there is something in you that is missing, searching for that thing in things and others isn't going to fulfill that void. So I'm going to try and make this quite succinct, so nothing long. on how I found myself in a better place. And here's the thing, I am not where I want to be, right? I am not where I want to be. But in comparison to where I'm coming from and where I am in a much better place. I'm in a place of peace. I have peace in myself. I am whole within myself. And I am on track to my purpose. So for me, it started after my third baby daddy and I split. And at the time, our child together was 4 months. And this had become quite, here's the thing. We find ourselves in a situation where we continuously do the same thing over and over again, but we're not learning from our mistakes. And this was my third time in a relationship that became abusive, where I fell pregnant, had a child, and the relationship didn't work. Because I'm looking for someone to love me. I'm looking for someone to take care of me. And this is what I used to always pray, Father, give me someone I can love. Right? I want someone to love. I didn't even know what love was. I didn't even know what love looked like. Yeah, because I didn't have my dad. My mom had 11 of us. She was hustling to feed us, which means she was not around as much. And then when she was around, she was tired, stressed, and not the best mother. And I don't blame her for anything. I think she did the best she can do with what she knew, right? And it took me a long way to get to this place where my mom's one of my closest friends. Yeah, I speak to my mom daily. I appreciate and I love my mom because I know that what she did, especially being a mother myself now, it couldn't have been easy to raise 11 children from such a young age. And I think my mom fell pregnant at 15 or 16. So, you know, my mom did the best she could, but she wasn't around. So I was looking for something. I didn't know what it was, okay? And so I found myself in this position again for the third time. And it's like a light bulb came on and I was like, I am the common denominator in all three of this situation, right? I am the common one. So clearly it is not them. It is me. Something is absolutely wrong with me. That was my conclusion after my third baby father. That was my conclusion. 24, 3 children, 3 failed relationship that I was hoping to get married, and he engaged me twice and was cheating on me both times. So, you know, I'm doing something wrong. I am choosing the same personalities, because even though they were different race, different backgrounds, different parenting styles that they got, they were so similar, right? So I knew something was wrong with me, and I beat myself up so much during that time that I actually became suicidal. And that's where my book, Suicide or Jesus Christ, stemmed from. It was from me realizing that something is wrong with me. It's not even the guys that I'm with, the guys that I'm choosing. Is actually me. I am doing this to my life. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know what is even causing me to do it, but I'm doing it. So I went into a place of depression, anxiety. I was scared of men. Like, I was so scared of men, right? I was so scared. I cannot explain. I went to a place where I'm not dating men. I'm going to date women. I'm done. I'm going to date women after this. I'm done. But I also realized that this roller coaster of a life started from young. And so I had to figure something out. And I think I stumbled on some of the answers. I don't have all, but I have some, okay? And so in my state of depression and anxiety and suicidal, being unable to take care of myself, being unable to take care of my children. And I always just appreciate my brothers, Kenrick and Kishon, for just picking up my pieces while I couldn't take care of my children. They were taking care of my children. I remember my little brother running about for me because I wouldn't come out of bed. I was so sick in my mind, in my heart, in myself. I was so broken in such a dark place that I gave up, right? And so I stumbled, and I found God, and I found this spiritual path that people would talk about, and I will have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. But in my place of despair and being desperate, I prayed a very short prayer. And I always remember that day so vividly. And I remember just walking home with my kids from the grocery store on Feltham High Street and just crying and just praying. And it was very short, but I prayed many times before. When I was in trouble, like when I did something wrong, I'd be like, God, get me out of this. If you get me out of this, I'll serve you. You know, it wasn't that like that. This wasn't a surface prayer to get out of trouble. This was a prayer for help. It was a true, desperate, deep prayer. I needed help because at this point I was ready to die, and I was ready to, if I had to take my kids with me, they were coming, and that was my way of protecting them from the world. And I prayed for help, and it was something like, God, is this my life? Help me. You know, it wasn't long, it was so short. But I know that after that prayer, it's like someone took me and just turned me around, and my life was going down, and the person, even though I was down, it's like God turned my life upwards, and I started going up. And I didn't realize it right away. Okay? I'm not gonna say that I realized it right away. I didn't. I just knew that after that prayer, a lot of things just started happening to me while I was locked away and isolated in my home for a couple of months. So this started like in around May. So my son was born in January, April, May time. And my life just changed. Now, during this time, I found myself reading the Bible, which I never do. Okay, I never read the Bible. I found myself praying every day at 3 a.m., which I never did. I found myself listening to sermons and encouraging sermons. One of my top sermon or pastor was Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I know a lot of people say a lot of things about that man, but God used his preaching to build me up, to build my mind, and to help me, to encourage me. And so some people call him an encouragement preacher. Well, I think we need that. I do think we need that, okay? I think we need every kind of preachers. We don't want them all to be the same. Because one day, I don't listen to T.D. Jake like that anymore. I like the old school biblical ones right now. But at that time, I cling to T.D. Jake's teaching. I cling to his words. I remember T.D. Jakes had me, praise breaking over things that I never had. I just believed that I would have it, and I would follow him and praise break and thank God for it. And it will come, and as I said, not right away, but T.D. Jakes did help me. And then I would listen to worship songs. This was me for months. months, 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 months. And my life just started changing. So one thing I would say to the young lady or the mature woman who's trying to find love outside of herself, I would say, look within. This is an inner job. This is an inner work, you know, and I know that prayer helped me, reading the Bible helped me, listening and hearing encouraging sermons and people, not just sermons, but people helped me. And just changing my whole environment. During this time, I lost a lot of relationships, but I realized those relationships, even though some of them were good people, they were good people doing bad things. So I had a friend who I will always go and smoke weed with, right? And I lost her along the way. She was, I mean, her life is cleaned up now, but at the time we were both off the rails. So, and one of the most important thing for me during this time is that I stopped having sex, you know, and for me that was a miracle. Okay, that was just a miracle. I didn't feel for it. I didn't want it. I didn't crave for it. It was not in my thoughts. My main focus was God. And I feel like if you don't know where to start there from a genuine place, not to receive anything. What I needed was life, because I wanted to die. And I clinged to this prayer and to God that I actually hated and I blamed for everything since I was young. I cling to the fact that I needed God in this worst place in my life. And I needed to cling to God to help me and direct me and show me where to go. So if I say anything else in this video, I just want this to stay with you. Find out what it means to have a relationship with God. Find out what it means to cling to God. I do not believe I was doing all this by myself. At the time, I didn't know about spiritual things. I didn't know about no Holy Ghost. I didn't know about no blood of Jesus. I didn't know any of those things. I just knew that I needed help, and nothing outside ever helped me, and that I prayed to this God that I used to hear about. And I believe that because I prayed from a sincere place. It wasn't a place of, oh, you do this for me and I do this for you. You scratch my back. No, it was, I need you. If you don't do anything in my life, other than whatever you do for me today, it will be enough. I just needed God's help. And so when you get to that place, and I hope you don't have to be in the maggots to get there, but you just make that conscious decision that, you know what, I'm going to give my life to God, and I'm going to allow him to do what he needs to do in my life. I think that's the best place to start, is to give everything to God, not with just your mouth, but with your heart, with your mind, and with your full being. If God strips away everything from you, your whole lifestyle, your relationships, every single thing, your money, would you be okay? And would you stay there? Because that is exactly what he did. He stripped everything from me. Sex, boyfriends, friends. I was literally isolated for months, you know, and you have to be willing to go through the changes, because it's through this inner change that the outer change will happen. So God was dealing with me spiritually. He was dealing with me emotionally, mentally, socially. He was dealing with me, dealing with my beliefs, my thoughts, okay, and my behavior. He was dealing with me as a whole, and I didn't recognize it. So God first, everything spiritual, everything God. And I believe in the God of Jesus Christ. And I don't debate it. That's what I turn to. That's where I saw changes, and that's where I'm gonna stay. Okay. I do believe in being open to other people, religion and beliefs, and all that. But I know when my life changed, and I know that Christianity and Jesus and all this have been used in negative and harmful way. But I do feel like when it is used correctly, it can be beautiful and helpful. Another thing that I started doing, and this is way down the line. So one thing that I end up doing was I end up going to university, and I got my degree in counseling psychology, and I do believe that was of God as well. So spiritual, educational, gaining the skills that is going to empower you and allow you to live independently. And the field that I am working towards is counseling psychology. As I said before in this video, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my journey. And another thing that I found myself doing along the way, first let me say God did so much. Got my degree, got married, moved into a beautiful home. This is all God, guys. This is all to the glory of God. My children have a good father, a great dad. This is all because the glory of God. Stability, stability. Like I was stable. My children were stable, and God taught me to love self, love me. To be independent, but also allow my husband to be my husband. And that took pruning and that took time. Guys, that's a whole nother video, okay? That took time. But another thing that I found myself doing was reading. I just love reading self-help book, personal development book, money and finances, money and becoming a better, books on becoming a better person. So I believe that if you're a human being and you're not reading, you're missing out. So along the way of becoming, all these factors helped me. First being spiritual, and I feel like that's the place to start. Don't take on too much of yourself. Start with your relationship with God. Start with prayer and taking this very serious. Your life, success and prosperity and becoming depend on that relationship with God. And from there, I believe in studying. I don't care what anyone says. I believe in studying. Even if that's, I don't, it doesn't have to be in an educational institute. There's so much ways to study and to become and to have a skill that is going to make you money. I 100% believe in that. Some kind of careers need that degree, need that doctorate, need that, but others, you don't need that, but you just learn the path to get there, and you get there. So there's so much ways to make money right now, and it's just finding one and sticking to that. And once you master that, then add what you need to add to it. I believe in getting mentors. For me, my mentors were the books that I was reading, the videos that I was listening to, the people that I was allowing to speak into my mind and speak into who I am as a person in becoming. And some of those after T.D. Jakes were Jim Rohn, Les Brown, was Tony Robinson, April Mason, so some of those were Liana, just finding people to build you up, finding people to help you to become. Right now, I'm stuck on R.C. Blakes Jr. Like, he's my main, okay? So, but I didn't find these people right away. These people didn't come to me until I was ready to hear. So don't force to become, but understand that it's a process. right? It's a process. You gotta just start one place. Start one place and just allow that process to happen. But plan your growth as well. I learned that planning my growth, reading daily. I read every day, every single day. I cannot help it. I'm obsessed with reading, and I'm reading intentionally. I'm still studying, so that's one of my focus. But also being okay and being grateful and having gratitude for where I am, knowing that I'm not where I want to be, but being grateful that, Lord, I'm in a better place. If I'm not in a better place, I'm headed there. Okay, I'm heading in the right directions. So if I can leave you with anything, I will leave you with, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for self-worth, if you're looking to fill that void, you will not find it in anyone. Here's the thing about human beings. We mess up and we make mistakes. And we are not dependable all the time. We also break, we also hurt. And so when you're depending on someone or some things to fill you, you're depending on something that can fail you. So if you're looking for something, you gotta look for something supernatural. And I found that in Jesus Christ and in the Father of Jesus Christ and the ways of Jesus Christ. And it wasn't easy because I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue what it was or why it was that or whatever, but I found that there's a higher power, and that higher power, if we invite the Spirit of God in us, can live within us and can be a part of us, and so I will encourage you to start there, and take that journey, that relationship seriously, reading your Bible every day, praying, really listening for what God is saying, but also committing to following the ways of God. None of us is perfect, right? I mess up all the time. I mess up in the worst ways, and I live with my husband. He will be the first one to say, Kanisha is not perfect. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be the best version of me at all time. And I'm going to fail sometimes. I'm going to fall sometimes. And I'm okay with that. And you have to be okay with messing up. Once you're okay with messing up, you can do anything, right? But I would say start there. And once you've committed to that relationship, and notice I'm not telling you to go to church, right? Because a lot of people sitting in church and nothing in them has changed, nothing in them has transformed. But I'm telling you to go to God. And if God leads you to a church, praise God. But that's what I'm sending you. I'm sending you to God, okay? And start there. Start there. And then allow the rest to be planned and done when you're ready. Reading's supposed to be a part of your life. Being mentored supposed to be a part of your life in time, right? So if you're not reading the Bible, if you're not praying, find time to read a book intentionally in areas that you're struggling with. For me, marriage, parenting, finances, these are important areas. Self-growth, self-development, they're important areas, right? So read, devour books like it's your last day, and get mentor. Whoever you're listening to on social media, on Facebook, be aware of what these people are saying, and be aware of if this is the kind of belief you want. Is it negative? Like, is it draining? Is it evil? Right? And I know life isn't all positive, but when I say negative, are they talking about other people? Are they talking about sex? Because sex seems to be everything nowadays. By the way, look out for my video, Godly Woman and Sex. I think that's going to touch some people. But through giving my life to God and through becoming disciplined, right, through God, and then making the choice to be disciplined through other areas that clearly God left. I don't know, for some reason, you know, you gotta sometimes make the choice to be disciplined and make the choice to ask God for help, right? I've seen a dramatic change, okay, and I want to stress that when I stopped having sex with other people, my life became much better. And I'm gonna do a video on how sex interrupts our life. It interrupts our people don't talk about this. They don't want to talk about this. But when you have different sexual experience and different sexual partner, just sit down one day and just look at your life. Look at what that person is bringing to you. Like, just look at your life. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here, and look out for my other videos. And I hope that you took away something from this video. This was more like a sit down and talk. It was not structured, and I hope that's okay. But God bless. Remember to become a part, like, share, subscribe, comment, and be connected. God bless.